Hello, hello. How are you doing this fine Thursday evening? I done got my days mixed up. How you doing, huh? My neighbor just come home. They having a good time outside. I pray your Thursday has been amazing. Mine has. Let's get in here and pray. Okay. God is good. Okay. Regardless of what's going on around us. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 can fall at my left hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form. But I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, Thoth, and Arumala. Why all three? Because God is calling everybody to come forward that wants to. It used to be one particular group, and I'm walking in it instead of fussing about what it looks like. Because I can fuss about it or I can step in it and say, here I am. I'm in the present moment. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4, think on these things that are of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on God, he'll keep me in perfect peace. It don't make sense, but it makes faith. And what I have faith in, I'll believe. And what I believe, I'll act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see happen in the spirit before it comes over in this dense realm. Because in this realm, it takes so long for things to get here. Don't believe me? Ask Daniel. It took him 21 days to get what he already asked for. And the angel said it was already here, but we had to fight something in the spirit. Right? Come on here now. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. God placed this small spark of love in our heart before we got into our mother's womb. It's just like it says in Jeremiah. Before you was placed in your mother's womb, I knew you. God knew us. See, we made a covenant with God before we came to this earth. Okay, the thing is that when we come to this earth and go through the canal of our mothers, what happens is we go through amnesia, and our job is to go back to God the same way we left, clean, with a purified heart, no unforgiveness, no bitterness, no wrath. That's how we get to go back to him. Okay. So the whole process is taking that little piece of love that he placed in our heart and taking it every day of our life. It can, some people have it a foot, some people have it 3 feet, some people have it 10 feet, some people have it 20, some people have it 30, some people have it 100 feet. It depends on how you work it. It's like Ephesians 3:20. God will do exceedingly abundantly above all you ask or think, according to how it works in you, according to how you work the love, is according to how far it goes outside of you and how people feel your presence before you step into the room, because they'll stop and stare at you like that. They don't mean to. It's just they've heard about what you have on you, and they heard about the cost, how much it costs, and they're trying to weigh if they're willing to pay the cost. Okay, because it's serious. Walking in love. You want to know how much it costs? Look at the life of Jesus. Okay, then look at the life of Buddha. Then go look at all the lives of the ascended masters and see what they did. Buddha left a life of luxury to find out, while somebody who looked just like him was in a dilapidated state, but he had it all. So he walked away from everything that he knew to find out the enlightenment of life and understand that. Everybody's not willing to do that. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We made all this stuff to put in between us and God. There's religions, preachers, priests, all of that. God said, let me tell you something. I don't have no problem with none of that because I gave you the idea to bring it to pass anyway. What I have a problem with is you going to that before you come to me. So you can trust creation before you trust the creator. And that's God's stance. Okay. Jehovah El Shaddai, the most high God. Your name is higher than any name that is named on this earth or the universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I can think of something, and I'm getting ready to tell you, guess what? God is still higher than that. That you can't change that. You can't change that. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There is no lack. There's only provision. It's how we look at it. When certain things are going on in our life, we get an opportunity to look at it from a higher perspective. Sometimes it's hard to get to that higher perspective. I'm not gonna lie. But once you get to that higher perspective, you understand that God will supply all of everything that I need, because the word don't lie. What it says that it is. It's just situation that we have in our lives and we think it another way. See, everything is always supplied. Every need is always supplied, but it may not look the way I thought it was going to look in my head. So that's why I have to change my perspective. Okay. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy. That is my birthright. That is my blood ball right. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. God is my source, which He is. But nothing on the outside of me is. However, God uses things on this earth to bless me. Exactly. Wealth comes from the north, as it is, so below, not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy. If God is here and I'm over here, God says, come to me as you are. That means I get up, change my perspective, and come to where God is. Every time you walk over to somewhere, you're changing your perspective to find out exactly what they want. Jehovah Rapha, you are my healer. You hear my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You hear so much of me. Honey, we talk about this a lot. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no sitting here getting even with people and arguing with them, because when you take the stance, I don't have time to argue no more because it's wasting energy. And then I'm giving away my energy. They send all that negative energy up to the creator, and ask the creator to send it back, cleanse and purify, so you can send it back to the sender, cleanse and purify. No blocking their path, no stopping their path. I don't care what they've done, because we got cause and effect, sowing and reaping in place. That means whatever you put out there is coming back 200 to 300 times more. And let me tell you something. The price always comes due. So be careful about that receipt and that check you cashing, because the bill always comes due. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response to my fight. I choose my battles properly. I leave it in God's hands. Ain't no fussing and no stressing me out. And so it will be, and so to be, and forevermore. Okay. Some things you don't have to fuss about. You, you just leave it alone. But you can fuss about it, but it's going to take your peace. Look in the description below to find a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. This is a one-on-one book with me and God. This book was published in 2021. However, I wrote it like 3 to 4 years before that, and I was sharing it with someone, because we was talking about writing books, and I shared it with someone. They was like, wait a minute, God gave you that? I said, mm-hmm. I said, this is how me and God talk all the time. They was like, wait a minute. Excuse me, confirmation burp. God tells me, we here, go left, go right, go around the corner. They said, no, you got the whole, God is showing you how to build an ark, how to live your life again, how to start over if you need to start over. And the funny thing is, I didn't even get a chance to use this book when I was starting over. It didn't get to close to the end, and he was like, okay, now use your book. I'm like, so why ain't you let me use it in the beginning? He said, because you was going to be going off of old wisdom, and you're dealing with something that you've never dealt before, so you can't deal with old wisdom with something that's brand new. Did you get that? Okay, so no matter what your background. Okay, and there's also 2 new books that I just put out on Amazon. One is called Befriending the Shadows, and the other one is called Unshakable Peace. Unshakable Peace. Something's changed. I can't think of the name of it right now. It'll come back to me in a minute. And then I have 2 other books that are on Amazon that are already on the New York Times bestseller list. This is Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, the FBI agent, and this is Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. Yes, those books are already on the New York Times bestseller list. Go ahead and cop your copy on Amazon. I thank you so very much for doing so. No matter what your background, notebooks and journals for all, coloring books for all. And my new books that are on Amazon are like shadow books with an activity book on the inside, so you don't feel so weighed down. So you can find a way to step away for a minute, enjoy yourself, then step back in. You'll see the link to the podcast with the women's leveling up. It was fun being there in May. You'll also see two other links to two magazines I was just in, one in September, one in October. I'm excited about that venture because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property. Again, there's a lot of stuff over on Amazon. There are some freebies there just for you. You have the link for the 105 spiritual laws. In the initiate book, it was only 7. In another book, it said 12. And I said, there's a discrepancy there. And I know that is not how the universe works. So I went and did a study and found out there was 105 spiritual laws. Disclaimer. We no longer live underneath the law. The law was of the Old Testament. The minute we're in a different dispensation of time. Since Jesus already did a Kundalini awakening, or what we call getting on the cross, same thing, because it's the same pressure, okay, gave us a different paradigm shaking faith. Okay, so now we have the blood bought right to stand before the throne of grace and ask for what we want with boldness as a lion, being that Jesus is called a Lion of Judah. Okay, so we're now under a dispensation of grace. So we don't have to take out a bull and a goat and everything and chop them up and do anything like that. We don't have to do that now. We can stand before God and say, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to do 180 degrees and I'm going the opposite way. I'm changing my mind. My bad, God. I repent. I'm going to fix this right now. Okay. Just like the 10 Commandments, the 10 Commandments is really 613 commandments. And if you get the Torah, it'll break down all 613 of those commandments so you can see them if you want to see them. God told the Israelites, there's a way possible that you can keep 613 laws every day of your life for the rest of your life and not get tired. They say, yes, we can, us and our children. That was the beginning of humans trying to do stuff without God. And you see how far we've gotten doing that. When the very fact we breathe in, we say Yah. We blow out, we say way. And we're breathing plasma. This isn't what we call it air, but it's really plasma. Okay? And if your lungs ever get filled with liquid, you're out. Okay. We know everything, but we don't know anything. This keeps us from attachments and as we go through each level and lesson taught to me by Thoth and Ishu, because they told me the only thing you can take with you is your wisdom. You can't take nobody else. You can't bring nobody with you. You can't bring stuff with you. They said only thing you can take is your wisdom and keep going forward. Has it been tough? It is, because you leave people behind that you truly love and you thought that they was going to come with you. And sometimes you leave people behind that you thought they was going to be on your path for a while, especially if they're mentors. You expected that you was going to be with them for a minute, especially if they walk with you for a few life lessons. And then you have your adjective PDF along with your morals and values PDF. With your adjective PDF, you're going to look for yourself, or you can find your own, a new way. You can say, I want to be a new person. Okay, well, that's what it is. And then your morals and values is 400 morals and values that you can choose your different persona. And you can say, I do not like the janky promoter that I've been living in so far. I want to change who I am, and I'm going to change it. And it takes 21 to 28 days to change it. So once you do all your research and find out who you're going to be next, then you go ahead and add 28 days of that, because it takes 21 to 28 days to change your mindset to go with what you said you wanted to do. If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. Okay, don't forget. And then you do 3 to 5 on those 400 values and morals. You could do more. However, we live busy lives. And since we live busy lives, it's too hard to keep up with that. What you do is you put them on an index card. You read it to yourself whenever you got to hit that pause button, because somebody just did something. You got to hit that pause button to bring yourself back. You read what you wrote down and you say, okay, that is me. I am that. I am back there. Because you get to 3 to 5, you put a definition to it. So whenever you find yourself in a tight spot and you got to hit that pause button, you can read what you wrote down and be like, okay, I'm back. Take a deep breath. Take a walk, do whatever you need to do, but come back to who you are. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for all the juicy updates and upcoming events. Look in the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is a company that I use along with all natural remedies for assistance during the diagnosis I received in 2017 of breast cancer. I didn't take any breast cancer. I didn't take any cancer treatments. I didn't take any chemo. I didn't do anything yet. Because see, what had happened was, that's black people's favorite line. What had happened was, okay, so I was in the office talking to the doctor. It was like, you have this and we need to do surgery immediately. I said, what? What you saying that ain't not doctor? I was just breaking it down, all Evo and everything. Breaking it down. They was like, so we're going to have to do surgery ASAP. And I was like, so what about this? He was like, nah, really. And I said, what? And he was like, huh? And I said, And he said, well, what I meant to say, I said, what you're not going to do is gaslight me and say that you just didn't say. I'm not going to put my life in your hands to be on the table. Now you gaslight me like what you never said is what you said. So I said, okay, I'm going to put my life in my own hands. They said, we behoove you. I said, I'm going to behoove you that I'm going to go home and find out my own way. So I went home, cried, God, what we going to do? God said, call this naturopathic doctor and done. Okay, and then my ancestors took over. So I go outside, get the dandelions, get that morning glory, get the grass that smells like onions, get the poke salad, bring it in here, clean it up, put it with your spinach underneath your rice, your jasmine rice, with your zucchini and your squash and your red onions, your red bell peppers, your orange and your yellow bell peppers. They taste so good, okay? You can eat them raw. They taste like candy. They really do. And but I love vegetables too. So and then I stayed on that for a long time, and I ate a lot of vegetables. And I took this. You take this for 6 months if there's something going on with you, or you take it for 3 months, and then you go off of it for 3 months, and then you come back on it. Okay, it's one of those you don't take constantly. You come on and you take off because it has the metals that we need that are on the periodic table. And I like the company because everything is 100%. They don't add nothing else to it, and it hits straight into the mitochondria and the nucleus of the cells. Okay. Once a month, I give 2 full scholarships to my transformational program designed to help you renew your mind and reclaim sovereignty over your own life. Think it for yourself instead of allowing people to think for you, because people will if you don't think for yourself. Okay. All it takes is 3 things. Number 1, visit the webpage. Number 2, hit the connect here. Number 3, fill out that short form and boom, you're in the join for a free private session to get started on your journey back to you. And you're going to say, honey, I know myself, Chad. I thought I knew myself too. But what I did is I quit asking questions, which bring clarity. Instead, I was just blindly believing everything everybody was telling me instead of trusting the voice of God that I hear every day, every hour, and my own intuition. What do we need? What do we need to question? And what mask do you need to take off? I ask myself those questions every day. And it has helped me because I just recently had to relinquish myself from something. And I said, you saw that and you was going to overlook that. And I'm glad that you didn't. You stopped for a second because you was like, wait a minute. Because see, when you slow down, you like, wait a minute. That right there and that right there don't make no sense. Because if you didn't know this, how did you know this? Okay. And then Psalms 91, 1 through 6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Even God's shadow is amazing. Come on here now. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge and my place of safety, and is. He is my God and is no shame, and I trust him and do. For he will rescue me from every trap, and did, and protect me from every deadly disease, and did. He will cover me with his feathers every day, and he will shelter me with his mighty wings every day. It just, I need to listen. He is faithful to his promises. Let me tell you some of God's promises. His promises are always yes and amen. It is just the fact we humans, we ask, if you anything like me, I love opulence, the law of opulence. I love it. Okay. I love it. It's beautiful having just beautiful things around. It doesn't have to be a high price, but it can be many of that particular thing. Okay. So it can be an overflow of it. And so God is say, I want diamonds and pearls. And God said, I want to give you the diamonds, I want to give you the pearls, I want to give you the sapphires, I want to give you rubies, onyx, I want to give you the lapis lazuli, I want to give you every beautiful gem you could think of in your life. I just need you to become that too. And I said, huh? He said, what you thought I would just give this to you how you are? That's not how this works. I need you to become what you asked for, and then you can have it. I said, say less. Then I said, how I do that? Then I said, say less. I said, how I do that? He said, basically, you start going towards what you want, and you start becoming that, and then I give you what you want. Okay. Got it. My armor and my protection every day. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night nor the bullets that fly at day, nor dread of disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Psalm 23 told me that, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. My rod and staff, my spine and shoulder to shoulder. How did I know that about my cross? God is so good. Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me daily. Little did we know our cross was our spine and shoulder to shoulder. Press your fuss and get on the bus. Okay. And then it says, and my cup runneth over. That means prosperity. That means opulence. That means overflow. All right. And then it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Then you go to Isaiah 53 and it says, God will send the angels to set asunder to go before us to make the crooked places straight. So everywhere, so the angels going before you, making sure that wherever you step your foot and wherever your foot shall tread, it belongs to you. Because they already cleared the land. The only thing you got to do is walk up in it like, okay, act like you know that your father owns the land. He said the silver is mine, the gold is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills is mine, and that's my daddy. So if it belonged to him, it belonged to me. I just step on in it. Okay. God is good that way. Woo, I don't know where that comes from, but we're gonna just go with it. Okay. God is so good that way. And then it says, and then God is my real guy. So then I go back to Psalm 23, and it said, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Wait a minute, God is my real guy. So that means God is running me down to make sure that I have goodness and mercy in my life for the rest of my life if I listen to what he says. Because I never want to be that Romans 1 person that he quits talking to, because now I done turned into a reprobate mind because I'm going to do it myself and say I don't need God. Only a fool that says in his heart that he don't need God. Okay. I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but it came up. Okay. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Somebody needed to hear that. That was for somebody. I don't know where it came from, because that was not in the mission. Okay. Hand over heart for your affirmation, or you can say it however you choose. And I done got hot, so that means I am channeling. I am not society strip. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but a flame of God, from God, source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment. I monitor the use of my own energy. Okay. What you cannot fix, why are we stressing about something we can't fix? As I slow down, I'm seeing things differently, like I just said. Okay, when somebody says, I've never met you before, but then they say, don't you stay over here? And it's just like, wait a minute. When you slow down, the things you pick up. When you walking too fast, the things you miss. When you move a certain way for so long, you think that's all you can have. I am choosing another way. I can have all I want in my own way if I listen to the voice of God. Be cautious when you and I see the same things over and over. Slowing down allows us to see the heart of the matter. It could be that it's leaving. See, love and trueness shouldn't have to be pushed to push someone to be who they are. We each get the opportunity to come to who we are separately. Anyone can say they are who they are, but when you see the truth, don't pretend you don't see that. As we grow in God, old system programming comes to the top to be seen. And it's not, let me break something down to you. It's not to hurt us. It is to see if we see it. Because we see it and we looking at it like, why is that right there? And then gotta say, it's coming to the top like curd of the milk, so it can come to the top so we can make some buttermilk with it. I said, oh, okay, now I see. I got it. What we what were some what were some of your old stories? Don't be surprised if you see them start showing up. Are you seeing them again? It's time to slow down and look at it again. Because when I seen it, I said, wait a minute, that don't make no sense. And I just kept thinking about it. I was like, Lord, that don't make no sense. Can we talk about this? And then the Lord said, just sleep on it. We're going to talk about it. I said, Lord, now you already know the answer. Let's talk about it. He was like, you know, I want you to figure this out on your own. I said, I get it. I said, okay, we're going to sleep on this. Sure enough, went to sleep, woke up, talking about, okay, there it is. I had my answer already, but when God say sleep on something, that means we're gonna talk about this, but we're gonna talk about this in the dream state. I'm gonna mess around and show you some stuff and see what you see. It's time to slow down and look at everything. Are things happening too quickly? That's not how God operates. We already know that better is one day in your court. Better is one day in your house. Better is one day in your court than 1,000 elsewhere. Because one day in heaven is like 1,000 days down here on earth. God don't move fast. He's still the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He just be like, and the word be like, that ain't how God moves. So if it moves too fast, pay attention. Everything that comes from God goes slow and intentional because he's intentional, never failing. Come on here now. What's his name? Mr. Green? I can't think of his first name. Please forgive me. I can't think of your first name. It's okay to back out and keep going on our paths. It will come at a later time. We are vessels of God and here to complete what needs to be done. While doing this system, the system and our ego will each approach us with what we want in private moments. The ego be like, we want this right here. I said, I know, but is this the time for it? And then the system will say, well, this what you want. I understand, but is this the time for it? Because I heard look closer. So the mere fact that God said look closer lets me know it's not time for it. Everything in divine timing. And I'm not rushing the timing because if you rush the timing, you always end up with a janky promoter. Ain't nobody got time for that. The key is to pay close attention to what you see and not what you want to see. It's okay to set boundaries. Do you know today, that right there is the key word today. Everything, I set a boundary, and this is how I know I was in alignment with that. Everything today was talking about boundaries, 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 boundaries. I went to a master class to look up because I like doing master class and things on Audible, because I love anything that's dealing with philosophy, the way we think, and changing the flow of things. And I was listening to the class, and she was like, boundaries. Then I said, look at you, God. And then I looked at something else. Somebody said, what are your boundaries? Then I looked at one of my mentors that are no longer here, Miles Monroe. And the first thing he said is, your boundaries save your life. I said, okay, God, that's 7 times. That is completion. Thank you. It is okay to set your boundaries and say, let's keep it this or that. This is your life, no one else, and they don't get to control how you live it. Live how you wish, not how others think you should be. Keep your joy and peace no matter what happens. See, nothing can stop us, but we can block our own way. Be gentle with ourselves as we go through this process around us. All of us want love, however, in divine timing. Love yourself first. Woo! Be so blasted with love for yourself. The symptoms today. Child, I've been having them vivid dreams again. Vivid. And so much wisdom will be released. Told not to share, but let me tell you, those dreams have been off the chain. My crown and third eye is off the chain. I mean, my crown is open. I mean, it's like throbbing. And my third eye is like. And my throat has been pulsing today, and my shoulders have been pulsing, and like I've been having electricity just staying inside my spine. Usually it's all over my body, but it's just in my spine, and it's like zzz, zzz, zzz. I said, okay, God, what we doing? I've been sleepy all day. When I say I rested today, I tell you something. I was exhausted. I said, I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'm finna go sit down. So I had all that energy yesterday. It was push pull yesterday. Today it was like, I don't know what, because I was like, yeah, we finna do this, and my body said, take 2 more steps. I said, let's run and get onto the bed. I ran and got on the bed. My body said, and that was it. Realizing most of my life was full of duty as a king and queen, basically autonomy and loyalty. I was left alone a lot, and that I should do this. And that's why it doesn't bother me to be in solitude, because that was a part of my life, most of my life, from my youth years. I played with the angels, and so since I was a kid, they would say, "Oh, those are her imaginary friends." You know that cartoon, Foster the House. of imaginary friends. Oh, I love that cartoon. Just to let you know, I love cartoons. Okay. And so I would just be talking to them, and people would just be thinking I was, because I was a kid, they were thinking I had imaginary friends. No, I was talking to angels. No, I can see them. I still do. I was talking to ancestors that are no longer here, and I still see them all the time. And I know when they come in here, because then Bella just lay on the floor and start licking the floor, and I'm like, okay, they're here. And less on what I truly want. I'm looking deeper at that trigger. See, that's a trigger right there. To because because others can't be left alone. They project that, and I'm like, well, I'm happy because I like my privacy. I don't like everybody knowing my business. That's just me. And then other triggers are just coming up, and I said, "Ooh, look at that." Mm. It's not easy. It's not easy, but digging. Let me tell you something. It's about finding out more of that. What is that conditioning is about? So I've been sitting with that. Synchronicities like I've never seen before. Like I've just been receiving new synchronicities. Like for a long time, it was like the same synchronicities. Like for the last 3 days, it's been synchronicities on top of synchronicities, but it's not the same ones I'm used to. It's like different ones, like off the rip, and it's like, oh, so we done switched bandwidth over here. Okay. Early this morning, I was just sneezing nonstop, and I said I must be releasing old energies, and they're just clearing out. I was wide awake, child, and I was exhausted. I just rested. I said, child, you ain't got to tell me twice. Feeling my ancestors' pain and crying at a video of a rabbit stuck in the fence, child. I promise y'all, I was sitting there looking at this rabbit in the fence, and the woman was getting the rabbit. I was like, oh my God, get the rabbit. Child, I was just, I was like, I'm usually strong. Why am I over here flipping out over a rabbit? And Tina's about to come down about that rabbit. And once it was set free, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what is this? Being honest with myself and telling myself how proud I am with myself and putting me first in all areas of my life and how far we've come. Seeing the truth behind people's eyes and telling myself to believe what I see. Setting boundaries, saying it's okay to be all of me with all my quirks. Also looking at the past to see I didn't have any that allowed everything around me. Because see, before I allowed everything around me, now I'm seeing where I'm putting up boundaries. And when people are used to everything be having just free reign and you start putting up boundaries, people don't like that, but that ain't my business. This is my life. Okay. I'm working on a balance of not being so rigid, but also not closed off in a flow. It's not easy, but I'm still working on that for my betterment. I'm trying to meet in the middle. Okay. Hearing and seeing more than I usually would. Bella is seeing it too, so I know I'm not tripping. I'm feeling like the biggest kid right now and don't know why. I just wanted to go out and get a toy today. I started to go get it, but I was so exhausted. I said, I'm too tired to go get that toy. I just wanted a Barbie doll. Why I wanted a Barbie doll? I just wanted the Barbie doll that you get with the clothes and everything. I wanted to play with a Barbie doll today. The little girl in me wanted a Barbie doll. I'm exhausted, but also wanted to love forward, but my body was saying, live forward, but my body was saying, rest. And so all day the energy was like, rest. And it felt good. When I say I felt good, I felt good. Watching my emotions as an observer and not just as myself, just that. Realizing it's not easy to walk alone, but needed in order to see what God has for me. All leaders walked alone on their journey until it was over. And I was looking at Jesus' journey. I was looking at John the Baptist's journey. I was looking at Paul. I was looking at the disciples, and I was like, wait a minute. They was walking alone for a minute. When I look at the biblical characters, and then when I look at other characters throughout other books and stuff like that, I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't have too many people around them. And I said, that makes a lot of sense. I'm walking on a path that isn't easy on my own, but I have to build myself up, and then I can help somebody else. But building somebody else up before I build myself up is going to require too much of me. So I'm building myself up. Excuse me. Putting myself first is key to life. Because as you know, on the plane, they said give your oxygen to yourself first and then give it to your child. Because it doesn't make sense to give it to the child first. Because if you do, that means you're knocked out and your child is on their own. Okay. While also finding ways to be gentle with others as I set boundaries that work for me as well. Whatever I think on the inside is going to happen on the outside. I'm building my own life. That's my birthright to live how I choose, not how others think I should live. Learning not to fight what is, but sit with it to heal properly. Because when I sit with it, I see more than, because once I change my perspective and come up here, because God told John and Revelation, he said, come up here higher so I can show you things that are to come. And so in order to see things in a different way, I have to see it from a different perspective. Realizing boundaries bring form and allow true growth to come through as we go through our own journeys. I heard it somewhere and I said, okay. And it stuck with me, and it as I keep going on my own journey, and I said, okay, I thank you. All things work for me, good or bad. Romans 8. All things work for the good of them that are called according to his plan and purpose. Resting to just be for a minute while looking at triggers of who I was. So I'm laying on the bed and listening to the master class because I was just too tired to get up and get at the desk. I was like, well, we're gonna just the therapist was just dropping some knowledge, and I was just like, wait a minute. I was just hitting the rewind button because she was just hitting. I was like, wait, that is so good. Let me get some paper. So I can be better for me. I'm already whole, but looking deeper to always have room for improvement. And so many more things that was happening today. It was just amazing. It's just amazing how once you sit down with God and say the things you want to work on, how those things just show up. You like, you funny, God. Everyone gets their own opportunity to do their own work and wake up in their own timing. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own timing, okay? Keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care for them, but what are they showing you? Are you really paying attention? Some want to connect only when they feel you growing. Let them go and learn their own lessons. They will hold you down from moving forward. Just let them go. It will be okay. God has you. Trust that. Trust and in them. Trust that. James 1:19-21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness that God desires. So get rid of the negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. Whatever that is, I was not in the room with you when God gave you your mission. For it has the power to save your souls. That's one thing you won't hear me say, you ain't supposed to be doing that. Because I wasn't in the room. That ain't my place. Just like the Quran says in 1753 and 4148, highlight the importance of speaking kindly and avoiding slander and speaking the truth. Do you know who you really are? It's time to get an opportunity to get in our studies, wherever you're in, because we're all different. Pray, meditate, and find out who you are. Be so secure when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker. Okay. Because as things show up, you see where your triggers are, you start working on them. So now when it comes, it doesn't bother you. You just say, oh, that's weird. Okay. I'm still saying, there's a lot of stuff I'm still saying. You know why? Because it's my birthright. It's my blood bought right. Okay. Jesus gave us a whole new paradigm. I am worthy of love because it's my birthright. Because I exist. I'm worthy because I exist. That's it. I'm worthy of the love of the life I love. God is in my heart. That means I am worthy. God would not come into no raggedy being. Okay. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That means I am worthy of having a life full of everything that I need and want. I am worthy of the dream that is in my heart. I am worthy of that because God put that dream in there. Okay, that's the covenant that we cut before I left. He said, I knew you before you entered your mother's womb. I released the timelines and are no longer for me. We are no longer agree. I release you, you release me. I sever the connection. There's no reason because we can't walk together anymore because we don't agree. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. Why do I need to shrink? I like what I like. I am who I am. I'm going to dress how I want to. And if you don't like that, you don't have to look in this corner. Not being ugly, not being mean, just saying I love me. Not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move and stillness. Stillness does something for you. When you get quiet and get in stillness. Today, let me tell you what happened when I got in stillness. My body just, it felt like, the best way I can explain it, it felt like somebody was picking me up and taking me where I needed to be. I was sleeping. When I woke up, I felt like I was just, my body was moving. And I was like, where am I going? I just woke up. But it felt like I was moving. And I said, I guess I'm changing trajectories in my life. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I'm never alone. I have my ancestors, my angels, God, and a threefold cord is not easily broken. They use that in scripture for marriages, but let me break it down for you. Okay. I'm secure in myself, knowing even if no one is with me, I'm never truly alone. I always have my spirit team with me. Okay. The angels always bring me in something amazing that causes my heart to light up. Today, I was able to see a toucan and an agouti. And a agouti is like, oh my God. It has no tail, and I think it's the cutest thing in the world. You got to look it up. Okay. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Love has so many different ways to show itself. We just get the opportunity to keep our heart open to see it. Oh, and I saw a raccoon today, which is odd. People go out of their way to do me good. Because of the favor of God on my life, rules, laws, regulation, and red tape is removed from me. It is said we don't usually do this. They can't help it. I can't help it either. But if God say back down, if my intuition say back down, and if I hear leave, that's it. I have miracles every day, and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm alive. Honey, when you put up those boundaries, it allows you to see what's really going on. I was thinking, is it me? Come on, Kiki, shit, I love that song. I don't consent to any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, snip, sniff, burn, sever. Okay, no more. We don't agree, so why would we be attached? I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. If it's a dream, if it's a heart desire, God placed it here. That's why it won't let me be. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. If it's mine, I don't have to fight for it. I get the opportunity to become it, and it just shows up. I am worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness in any moment. If I come up here to see it from a higher perspective, I can see the silver lining in any story. Is it easy? Mm-mm. Because sometimes you want to wallow in it for a minute. But when we go up here, we can see everything, okay? I saw this somewhere and I said, okay, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. And I received that. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent. On every dime that was stolen, on everything that was stolen, on everything that was taken. Okay, I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. What? Travis Green, that's who it was. I apologize, sir. I forgot your name. I saw this on Google and I've been saying it ever since. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to the rightful owner, cleansed and purified, full of love, no matter where we met in the universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm. I sever the connection because we no longer agree. The lessons have been learned. I release you, you release me. You can go your own way, I'm going my own way. I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I am free, I am free, I am free. I'm free. Boom, boom, boom. Free falling. Tom Petty. Mm-mm-mm. I now release all energies, traumas, and patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, realms, worlds, and universes. I am free, I am free, I am free. I sit in peace while I trust the process and I don't rush the process. Can we wait when it gets silent? That's the test. Woo! When it gets silent, God ain't saying that. Ain't nobody saying that. You looking around, you telling, okay, y'all, what we doing? Woo! I help visionary women to bring their dream project to life so they become the change maker the world needs. You a change maker, a paradigm shifter, and you an innovator. You just change the world as you walk in the rooms. Are you ready to step into your real freedom? Do the work, allow your dream to come to you, and wake up excited for your life. Let's make it happen together. Why? Because there's always room for improvement. So I'm always working on me. You don't stop working on you until you leave here. The life you want isn't far away. It's one bold step with support beside you. Like I said, you're not finna get all this good stuff by yourself, honey. We all get to improve. Hi, my name is Renetta Chester, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC, Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being for my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body, massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner, where we pull out everything from the rooter to the tutor, human design practitioner. We look at the generational baggage and trauma, the wound care and the nourishment, that intuition, that reconnection to that dragon energy, that anointing, that burden removing, yoke destroying power of God that demolishes that old life as you step into the new one. You know, when you go down and you say, I'm going to receive Jesus as my Lord and Savior over my life at the church, I'm breaking this down in Christianese, okay? And then when you go up there and you say your prayer and do everything, that's just the beginning. Now you get the opportunity to learn, and then you get the opportunity to go back and get everything that belongs to you. And then you get to put your own generation on a path. Honey, you get to take over, child, because you might be the generational breaker. You might be the one that's the breaker of the family. Okay. That untamed energy that changes your life forever. But let me tell you something, the breaker of the family does have untamed energy because they say no and they set boundaries and people get upset. But so we go into the darkness and reclaim everything that belongs to you by standing in and now to recover every piece of you left behind. When women and men heal, we heal 7 generations before and after. The womb is a portal to life, and men have one too. Let's talk about the womb. The womb is your belly. Okay, you have a brain inside your head, you have a brain in your heart, you have one inside your belly. The one inside your belly also houses a flower of life. That sacred geometry, yeah, it sits in the belly. That's why in Jude it says, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living waters. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about speaking in tongues. Okay. So when we respect and heal it, everything that comes from it is whole to lead future generations of leaders with intuition, empathy, strength, and wisdom on the lines of King Solomon. Let's break that down. King Solomon was the wisest man on the earth as of that time. But see, the only thing he did not have was access to Jesus. Jesus gave us grace, God's willingness to get involved with human affairs. I gave God full reign. I said, I don't care what's going on. Whatever's going on, if you see me out here and I get in a situation where I can't take care of me, You ain't got to ask me anything. I give you full reign. Come and get me, tear down everything, rip everything apart, rip the building apart, pull me out and get me out of there. Okay, do whatever you got to do to keep me alive. Okay, that's the mission. Okay, I'll give you free reign. I know it may sound crazy, but I gave God free reign. Because that's that grace, God's willingness to get involved in human affairs. And see that wisdom that he had, now you can have that on top of the grace. Powerful. When we heal, we change the atmospheres and the areas of the world. When people see a healed woman or man, they want to emulate that, and it becomes a row of dominoes or a domino effect. And when that happens, that's when the world changes. What is that? As the world changes, ain't it a story, a soap opera? Then it's time for you to step in to take the live out loud dream activation session and understand what's keeping you stuck in park instead of driving towards your dream projects. You keep talking about these dreams, you keep saying that you want to do these dreams, but every time you do it, you bring up an issue why you can't do it. I think it could be a little fear. How it works. Before we meet, you complete a short reflection to allow me to personalize the program to what your personal needs are. Then we will hop on a focused 45-minute call one-on-one to find out exactly what's going on. You may need a little tweak or you may need a full paradigm shift. Especially if you was brought up in the church, you may need a full paradigm shift like I did because God had to work on me. But I had the core principles, but we had to take a shift. At the end, you will know how to identify exactly where you stopped and what makes you excited and why. It's usually not what you think. Okay. But you've been starting and stopping. So you have lost some of your momentum. Learn how to stay committed even when life gets tough. Because just know God, the universe, the system, yourself, your higher self is all going to see if this is just a hobby or this is real. Rid not your imagination and give yourself a mission to live how you see it. Not how nobody else see it, because nobody was in that room when God told you what to do. All under an hour. Investment $97. We spend that going out with the girls on a just going out to eat. Go to brunch. Look at your receipt. I only have a few slots each month, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. I came out on the other side. I wanted someone there for me. Little did I know that I was going to be the one to turn around and help someone else. Again, when you're ready, I'm ready. God doesn't give you what you want until you let go of what's in your hands. You hold on to it like this, and God said, I got something else. Once you let go, God has a bouquet of everything you said you wanted. Now, how is that working for you holding on to things? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe because it'll help my channel, and then share this with someone, and then hit the bell so you know whenever I put out something new. Your chance to step into sovereignty is here, hon. Once a month, I give 2 full scholarships to my transformational program. 2. Designed to help you renew your mind and reclaim sovereignty over your own life. Thinking for yourself instead of allowing someone else to think for you. Because if you don't think for yourself, somebody else will come in and say, help me build my dream. Okay. All it takes is 3 things. Number 1, visit my webpage. Number 2, hit the button that says connect here. Number 3, fill out that short form and boom, you're in the drawing for a private session to get started on your journey back to you. See, and you're gonna say, well, I know myself. I thought I knew myself too, but I quit asking questions that bring clarity instead of blindly believing everything people are telling me instead of hearing the voice of God that I hear and my own intuition. What questions do you need to ask? What mask do you need to take off of? And who do you think you really are? Not what people told you to be, but who do you think you are? It's time to become that. You've been asking for change. You've been feeling the pull. Now's your time to show up for yourself. You've been showing up for everybody else in your life. It's time to show up for yourself. The only thing you have to lose is the weight of everything holding on to you, and everyone else is trying to hold on to you to make you be that for them. The only thing you have to gain is everything that's on the other side of who you said you wanted to be. Okay, it's just that simple. The rest, I'll walk you through every step of the way. It's just that simple, honey. There are some freebies and a link to my podcast with the women's leveling up that was done in May. You will also see 2 more links that was of the magazines that I was just in for September and October. One is local, one is national. You will also see a description. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed my new link to my own personal bookstore. Okay, my books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read. Okay, there it is. Read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. This is a one-on-one book with me and God. This book was published in 2021. Okay, after the pandemic. No matter what your background is, this is a book of me and God having a conversation. I showed it to someone. They said, wait a minute, God is showing you how to build the ark. He's showing you step by step how to put your life back together. I said, I know. And it was like, everybody don't get this. We get go left, go right, go over here, talk to this person. We don't get how to build this thing together. I said, I know. This is the intimate conversations. They say you need to put it in a book. So I put it in book form, no matter what your background is. Because what I have learned in reading all these books of all these religions, when I read the Torah, it sounds just like the Tanakh. Because the Tanakh is the Jewish version of the Bible. And then when I read the Bible, it sounds like other things. It just, all of them sound the same. And being that they all use the same thing to start over something else because they didn't like how it was going. If you read up how religion started, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because when I read up how they started, I said, what? I didn't know that. Yeah. You learn something new every day. Notebooks and journals for all. Coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. See, if you go Google up how religion started, Google how each one started, it'll blow your mind. Okay, I'm excited about this venture because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property, but I have a lot of stuff over there on Amazon. Go check it out. Okay, don't forget about your link for the 105 spiritual laws. In the initiate book, it says 7, and another book, it says 12. I said, it's got to be more, and it was. So I looked that up, put it together, boom, and there you go. It's 45 pages per spiritual law, so it's great reading. Just understand this. We no longer live under the spiritual law. We live under the dispensation of grace, which is God's willingness to get involved. Also, we live under love. Once you get in love, love covers a multitude of everything. Multitude means society's rules and regulations. That means it will cover up the voices of people that think that they right when the only voice that is right for your life is you. Okay, because each one of us has a different life. Okay, because God gave us a different mission in each life. Love says it covers the law and the prophets. So that's every spiritual law, every prophecy that's ever been said. If you get in love, you're good to go. Okay, but it's still good to know the spiritual laws. Okay, you also have your adjective and your 400 values PDF. That is for you to put together to have your own persona. You spend some time with that, get 3 to 5 of the morals and values, put it together, put it on an index card. So whenever you got to pause, you got something that you can pause with. Okay, write down what you need to do. So when you in a situation and you need to pause because somebody said something, you ready to hit that pause button, look at it, breathe, and keep going. Okay, that's how we got to do. That's what you get the opportunity to do in order to change your persona to be who you want to be. Okay, because it takes 21 to 28 days to change your mindset on what you've been doing all your life. Okay, and study them at your leisure with the 54 books that were taken out of the Bible. In 180 AD, Mr. Kennedy, he took all those things out because he said it was too powerful. You got the extra books of Esther, you got the extra books of Psalms and Proverbs. Child, there's so much in here. The book of Thomas. Thomas had a lot to say. The book of Mary Magdalene. You got the book of Giants. You got the book of Jubilees. You got, oh, child, there's so much in here. It'll blow your mind, honey. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. There's more books of the Bible of women that walk with Jesus, and they are getting to tell their story, which is amazing because that used to bother me. How all these women that walk with Jesus, and he was calling them out, and then Paul was calling out all the women that walked with him and ministered with him, but we didn't have no stories of it because man wrote the book. But in this book right here, it has all the women. Child, you got to see it for yourself. You got to see it for yourself. Okay, and hear their story. Don't forget to look in the link to receive your 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with all natural remedies and assistance. I was given a diagnosis in 2017 of breast cancer and was given 6 months to live. I didn't take any cancer treatments. I didn't take any chemo. I didn't do any of that. The doctor was like, "You need to do this, 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 this," and I was like, "Well, so what does this do and what does this do?" And he was like, "What?" And I said, "Huh?" And he said, "Hmm," and I said, "Hmm." And I said, "No, I'm not gonna put my life in your hands because you playing over here and you trying to gaslight me." So they tried to jump on me and just, they were trying to jump on me with their words. And I'm like, "What you not gonna do is play me because I just heard what you just said. So you lie to me in my face. You're not gonna get me on that table and say, 'Oops,' upside my head, and I'm gone. And that's what you're gonna tell my family." No, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my life in my own hands. So that's what I did. I went home and cried. God, what we gonna do? God said, "Okay, call that naturopathic doctor." Done. And then my ancestor took over and said, "Go outside, get that dandelion. That's when you get roasted dandelion tea." Because I told the doctors what I did. Okay. And that's where you get a lot of them teas you have now. All right. So I went out there, got the dandelion, cleaned it up, and put it inside of the thing that I forget what you call it, and I put it, two of them like that, and I put it in the water so I can make my tea, and the rest of them I ate with my spinach, underneath my jasmine rice, with my zucchini and my squash and my red onions, my red bell peppers, my yellow and orange bell peppers. Taste so delicious. Okay. And put that on my plate, child. Let me tell you how good that was. Delicious. And I ate that for a long time. I ate a whole bunch of vegetables for a long time until I needed to start eating a little bit of meat because my blood type said I needed some meat. And I started feeling that because I started getting really weak. And so I started adding stuff like pescatarian stuff like fish, so I can get that fish oil in my system. Yeah. So, honey, God is good. Let me tell you something how good God is. Every day I thank God that I'm still on this green earth. You know why? Even though the earth act a little crazy sometimes, I'm so thankful that I'm still here because I could have been on the other side. Okay? I could have been an ancestor. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. But God allowed me to stay here to finish out my mission, and I'm so thankful. God, I just want to say thank you for loving me, keeping me, and holding on to me in the midst of every trial that I go through, everything that's been going on. I thank you for it, Father God. I thank you for the peace of mind and the soundness of heart. I thank you for the correction because if you didn't correct me, that means you giving me over to Romans 1. That means I'm a reprobate mind and you just let me go because I'm not listening anymore. God, I'm always listening. I will take the butt whipping. Let it be. Let it be. Okay, I'd rather get the butt whooping than to be recycling into something that I've already overcame because, okay, let's not. Give it a butt whipping. We'll go on and we'll learn from it and keep going. Oh, thank you, Father God. Some of us are doing the best we can because we were not given the best cards and they on purpose. The system on purpose told us, "Oh yeah, we gave you the most jankiest cards in the deck on purpose." And you said you had a one in a possible. I don't even know how you had a one in a possible because you didn't have no good cards. Because I know what I dealt you. I took all your good cards out and just gave you regular cards. I said, "So you know you gave me janky promoter cards." I know exactly what I gave you. And I don't understand why I don't have no books and you got all of them. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing Spades, Trump, and Uno. Got all the books over here. I got the whole deck over here. And they over there mad, steamy, don't understand how I'm overcoming every challenge they throwing at me. And I said, it ain't me, it's God. Don't look at me. God is in my ear talking about, okay. And I be like, and then, and go do it. And sit down. God is good. I don't care what you say. I'ma always send people back to God because it ain't me. I am sitting here listening to what God tell me to do, and then I do it. That's exactly what I do. God say something, I listen, and I go do it. I just want to thank y'all for being here because you could have been anywhere. I really thank you for being here. Do me a favor and share this with someone that needs to hear this because God is amazing. He is amazing. Let me tell you how good God is. God is so amazing. If you're willing to do the work, God will sit right there for you and fight every battle. You ain't got to put your hands up to nothing. God will say, only thing I need you to do is stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. That's it. That's it. Psalms 46 and 10, he says, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Let me fight for you because it's my battle. Because see, they coming at you, but they don't understand that you my agent. And when they fight you, they fight me. So let's go. Let's ante up. Okay. I love y'all in the love of the Lord. I pray that your day has been amazing. I pray you've had a great day because I have. I've rested really well and I needed that. I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great day. Good night.